Hey lovelies, and welcome to my channel. I'm Anna. Hi. I'm so happy to have you here, and today we're going to make a little black dress together. I called this dress my little black jazz dress. I know not everybody likes jazz. I mean, there's a lot of different opinions on it.
Jazz is stupid.
What's the deal with this dress? First, it's made out of velvet. Also, it's like an amalgamation of these two dresses. I wanted to kind of fuse all the good things about these dresses into one. It was also loosely inspired by the dress Holly wore in Breakfast at Tiffany's, but not that dress, like the other black dress. Let's just have the clip rolling. That one. So let's get right into it. Since I don't completely trust my pattern making skills, to nail it at the first time, a mock-up is in order. And, well, yes, it does need a lot of work actually, because see how unhappy I look? I'm not happy with the sleeves, not happy with the fit, but it's okay because it's a mock-up and I can adjust and make a nice pattern out of it. First rule of velvet, you don't iron it. Just make it flow and steam it super gently, like so. And here you see me respecting the second rule of velvet, which is making sure that all the pieces are placed in one direction only and are straight to the grain line. And the third rule is, if you place two pieces of velvet on top of each other, they shift. And we don't want that, of course, so the fabric is a single layer here, which also means all the pieces need to be mirrored on the second half of the fabric. So remember the first rule of velvet? Of course you do. But you still need to press your seams flat, right? So enter the Velcro trick. Simply glue a few strips next to each other and voila, a safe space for all your pressing needs. Pun intended. And since chalk markings don't tend to stick around for very long, especially on velvet, all darts, notches and markings need to be thread marked. So I suggest you pour yourself a nice cup of coffee and buckle up, because this process takes pretty much forever. See what happens if you notch velvet? So much fraying, and we don't want that happening to our precious sleeves, right? So mark those with thread as well. Since I wanted the bodice part of the dress to have a bit of added structure, but could not use fusible interfacing, see the first rule of velvet, I used a non-fusible interfacing. And to prevent it from shifting around, I used the fun technique of basting to temporarily secure those layers, which again took forever. All done, finally, let's go to the next part. Finally, after all that prep work, the construction of the dress can begin. First, we have to close up the darts and connect the bodice pieces, press them nice and gently on their little Velcro bed. And as the next step, let's close up those shoulder seams, shall we? And when you need to press your sleeve seams but don't have a sleeve board, quickly improvise with an empty bottle. This one should do nicely. Let's attack the collar. Since precision is of importance and I didn't want my velvet to shift around too much, pinning it just didn't do it for me here. So I secured it all with a quick running stitch. You see? No shifting around under the machine at all, everything nice and smooth. Just the way I like it. Time to combine the lining with the main fabric. Yes, there's a lining. Yes, I forgot to mention it. It's basically all the dress pieces just out of standard black fabric lining. Moving on. To make the V-corner really nice and sharp, we cut in almost to the seam and press. First the one side and then from outside. Ta-da! That's a nice V. And now it's time to combine the bodice part with the rest of the top. To figure out the exact position, I just quickly popped it onto the form, and this is totally optional though. You can also use yourself as the form or do it on table. And the last step is closing off the gap with a quick felling stitch. So to be honest, the rest is now just kind of basic dress construction stuff. We have our sleeves that we have to set. And what's really helpful is a little gathering thread that you put in the upper corner of the sleeve to gather it into the nice rounded shape. Now remember those notch markings? They're still there and they really make my life easier, and I need all the help that I can get because we're about to set the sleeves. And yes, I also secured them with a little running stitch because you never know. Let's not forget about the bottom half of the dress, and let's finally combine both parts into its final form. Time to close up the back seam between the notches for the slip and the zipper, and do the same thing also for the lining. And now it's time for the zipper. I really like setting them in with a so-called point stitch. So you basically pull the thread on the right side super close to the same point, and this makes the whole stitch almost invisible. Really nice technique. Secure the lining on the other side of the zipper with a quick felling stitch. And I decided to hem the sleeve and my bottom hem with a little ribbon. I thought it's cute and it hides all the ugly seams. And let's not forget the thing that makes the dress special. It's time to make the non-feather feather trim. So I folded up a 2-meter strip of organza around 8 times, marked the centimeter on the half and cut little fringes. And it looks a bit feathery already, right? And then I just basically ruched it up by shoving it into the machine whilst I go. So we are nearing completion. Just a few more stitches to join the trim with the dress in holy matrimony, and I will see you in the grand reveal. So here it is, the dress. It's fun to dance around in. So yeah, all in all, was a cool little project. I enjoyed it a lot. I'm going to make more videos. If you have ideas on what kind of other dress I should make or anything else, just drop it below. And I see you then. Bye bye.